broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the postgame show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
Welcome to the pregame show brought to you by Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. I'm Kyle Smith, and I'm alongside Zaha Shihikachenko here on SBS. He had the first goal of the game in that 2-1 win over Springfield FC. Big-time goal. You came off the bench 2 minutes into the game. When you come off the bench, you score. Did you know that was going to happen, or do you know when you come off the bench, you're just going to give your team initial energy?
I knew it was going to happen. Me and Daniel were sitting on the bench, and he said, hey, we're going to go in. We're going to change the game. And what happened? I scored and he scored, so it was kind of written down.
So in that game against Springfield, scoreless game entering the second half, and since then, you guys have scored 7 goals in your last 3 halves. What have been the adjustments on the offensive end?
I feel like we have a really talented team. We move the ball well, and the teammates trust each other with the ball. I think it's a lot about trust, and if you trust your teammate with the ball, that's how it's going to be.
A blowout win in your last match, 5-1. What were the keys to success in that victory?
Just moving the ball, pam, 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 tiki-taka, just pass and move, and you receive it after, because if you don't move, you don't receive the ball. So that's why we were successful, because we were moving the ball a lot.
You're starting tonight. In the opener, you came off the bench. What are some of the differences between starting versus coming off the bench as a forward?
I guess it's more tiring when you're starting. When you're coming off the bench, you got the first legs, So yeah, but it's good either way. Whenever you come out of the bench or starting, you have to give your 100% to the team, 100% to the fans that are coming out to support, whoever watching the game. So I'm just here to enjoy it, It's a beautiful weather today. It's a soccer weather, so I'm excited for the game.
Final thoughts going into the match tonight?
Well, we're going to give it all, and hopefully we're going to take another W.
Well, it's not going to be the greatest weather, but we'll see how Chi Nation does tonight against Goshen City. We're going to take a break. Play-by-play broadcast coming up next here on SBS. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another production of Sports Broadcast Solutions. Kyle Smith alongside Bob Vilsoe as Chicago Nation FC in the blue, red, and white. They'll take on Goshen City in the orange and black. And partner, Chicago Nation, they're undefeated. The announcer's jinx, it is not in full effect tonight. I already knocked on wood. But partner, they're looking to go undefeated, to go 3-0 on the season.
I don't know. You didn't tell me I have to knock on wood, so we might still have an announcer's jinx going on here.
Goshen City, partner, they haven't played their best soccer, and they're without their leading scorer, Jonathan Boye, tonight. How is that going to affect the team at all?
Well, it definitely affects the dynamics, right? Because you have one less goal scorer to go to, and you've got a bench player in the game at the time also. So some of the connections that you're used to might not happen. Now, in the warm-up, they were practicing those crossing shots, and it'll be interesting to see how they work. And there's no wind. It's a wet field, so the ball is going to be fast. But it's interesting to watch those crossing shots and see if they can connect without that scorer.
For Chicago Nation FC, like I said, they'll be in the blue, red, and white. They have 7 goals on the season, but partner, all 7 of them came in their last 3 halves of play. Their first half of play, they looked kind of sluggish against Springfield. Did Goshen see that in the game film, and they're going to take advantage of that tonight and try to take advantage of some possible sluggish play from Chi Nation in the first half tonight?
Well, you know, Chi Nation, admittedly, they seem like they always start slower and then they finish faster. And no matter the score, they keep the pressure on, even late in games. So that might be why those late goals are coming. The other teams, I'm not saying are giving up, but Chicago Nation absolutely gets stronger as the game goes on. They try harder. They look for more goals. They're a second-half team, and obviously this year that's proving it.
So Goshen usually in the orange and black, but they're going to wear the dark blue, white, and black tonight. National anthem in about a minute from now. Look at this, partner. They've got a new crowd this year. It's called the Chi Nation Ambassadors, and one of their ambassadors with the red, white, and blue flag. But it has a little bit of a twist to it. It's got Chi Nation right in the middle of the American flag.
Yeah, you actually have to like it. I wonder if you're supposed to put different logos on top of the superimposed on top of the red, white, and blue like that. But whatever, they did it, and it does look good. And, of course, their colors are the same.
National anthem coming up in about 20 seconds from now, so we will take a break. And the broadcast coming up next here on SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone. All right, well, we got the Zulu horn today. Too hot. Hold on.
The Zuzuvela horns.
We've got the Zulu horn tonight. Chi Nation in the blue, red, and white. And they're going to be opposed by Goshen City. Now, partner, they're from the South Bend area. And a lot of the players are alumni from nearby Goshen College. And so they go to Goshen, then they'll play a little semi-pro soccer. They'll get a job in the South Bend area, maybe Chicago, or right on the northwest Indiana, southeast Wisconsin border. Southeast Illinois border, like Chicago Heights, for example. But yeah, it should be an exciting one. I think Chi Nation will get the win tonight. It's a team that's won their last couple of Midwest titles, going all the way back to the spring of 2021, where they were national runner-up in the national tournament for the United Premier Soccer League.
Well, that Chicago Nation team is simply good. So Goshen is going to be glad to stay close in this game, 0-0, 1-0, maybe 2-1, something like that. But the thing to watch is the slippery field. It's been wet, it's been raining, and the ball really will move on it. And that does make a difference when you're passing the ball with touch on it. You almost have to pass to a person that's open as opposed to hit it ahead of him and let the grass slow it down, because this turf is not going to slow the ball down.
Goshen City looking for their second win of the year. Chi Nation, they're looking for their third. It'll be Goshen's ball. And we will start playing in about 60 seconds.
I think that's going to be a fast 60 seconds.
Look out for Lucas Bontrager. He's going to take the opening kick. He's a forward. Like I said, Jonathan Boyer, their leading scorer, is not playing tonight. And here we go. Some more United Premier Soccer League action here live on SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone. If you like SBS, just go on our website, sportsbroadcastsolutions.com.
Yeah, it's a bit windy. We didn't talk much about the weather, but it's a chilly day today. It's like 41 degrees. We thought it was going to be a little bit warmer. 60% chance of rain. We saw some flurries earlier. We're dressed warm up here. The players, of course, are running around in the field.
Just that beautiful Midwestern weather that we have in the Chicagoland area. Sutton, he's at defense tonight, but now at midfield. He kicks it back that time over to Butler. And Butler, a little tap kick back to his defensive teammate in Lebovic, and they'll set it up on the right side.
And typical Chicago Nation fashion, they like ball control. They like holding on to it. Just move it around, get a few kicks, get the feel for the game, keep the other team on defense, work it up slow, be patient.
You know, it's like you said, Bob, Chi Nation, they usually come full force in the second half. They have times where they look a little complacent in the first 20 minutes of action. Right now, I like the passing lanes, and I like that they're not panicking on offense thus far.
Well, and as usual, I mean, it is early yet, too, but I tend to think that they feel up the other team in the first half, and then they figure out during halftime, okay, where do we need to attack more that's going to be more successful? And then they just do continue to hustle. That is one of the traits of Chicago Nation. They just do not stop hustling. And even when the starters sub out and you get other people in.
First attack of the night for Chi Nation, as they're deep in the territory of Goshen. Sutton with it. As Sutton, little tap kick out in front, looking for Capitanos.
Yes, all that patience has paid off. They've got the ball in the front court. Front
court. Too much basketball for you. Out to Castaneda, and Goshen having some trouble getting it out. They're still deep in their own territory. The goal is at the end of the touchdown area. So when I say they're at the 10-yard line, means that they're 20 yards back of the goal. We're at Chaparral Stadium in College of DuPage. They won the national championship for the NJCAA Division III level.
For volleyball, I was in...
for football, they won the national championship.
Okay, well, they also won it for volleyball. They won those. And then today, I was inside the gym, the College of DuPage. They're hosting the first inaugural, I guess that's a redundant term, right? NJCAA Men's Volleyball Championship. COD finished fourth place in that tournament. The winner, well, in the finals... the winners were from Finger Lakes and ended up beating the Division I team from Monroe. So the Division III team beat the Division I team in men's college NJCAA volleyball. It was fun to watch. Some interesting referee calls, a couple yellow cards, but a very entertaining day before I just ran outside to watch some more soccer.
Any chance for Goshen today, Parter? It's always tough playing without your best player. Well, your best goal scorer anyways.
Well, I think even still, it gives somebody else a chance to play, somebody else to prove what they can do. These are all good players, right? But it's the great equalizer is going to be the field and the weather. The field is fast.
Ariel Matute was the one that kicked that out of bounds. He was really in a no-win situation, partner. If he lets that go past him, it's a chance that the attacking player beats him on the play. But he kicks it out of bounds, and now it's time for Chi Nation. They have time to regroup and do a little overhead pass to try to set something up on offense deep in Goshen's territory.
Yeah, it's never a mistake to hit it out of bounds when the other team has control of the ball.
Yeah, you can't let it get past you. Yeah, you might have help on defense, but you just never know. If that help is late, then it becomes an odd man rush. Out of bounds, good regrouping defense by Goshen. As here come the Zulu horns.
I like those. What is it, vuvuzelas?
You like them now. After about 20 times in a row, you won't like them so much.
When they play those World Cup games and they've got those things, boy, you can tell it's World Cup. Kind of, I hate to bring up basketball in the soccer game, but when they play at New York, you get tired of that organ.
Yeah, that was When they finally tore down Chicago Stadium, there were a lot of visiting players that were happy they tore it down because that organ was not so great when the Blackhawks scored. Dizdarevich with it, the attacking midfielder. Terrible shot, way too high, and an easy goal kick coming up.
What do you mean terrible shot? I think he gets 3 points on the field goal.
Yeah, but wrong sport, the other type of football.
Yeah, it was a kick, about 6 or 8 feet, maybe a couple more feet over the net. Just have to point the toe down or stay over the ball just a little bit. Wasn't really that bad a kick. He had a lot of muscle on it from a distance away, though.
Yeah, if you're gonna shoot from that far, you got to get it on net. Otherwise,
it's a turnover.
Accept the pass and just try to set something up for your other midfielder.
Right. So in soccer, turnovers you feel like are not as important in other sports, but the reality is they really are. You get possession for a while, and you only get so many possessions per game. Every 3 minutes you come back upfield for another quality shot and to spoil one. That's one less opportunity.
Turnovers happen so much easier in a hockey game because it's such a small arena. It's hard to get a turnover forced in soccer because it's such a bigger area. So, possessions are great. And if you're just giving up possessions, those are key later on in the soccer match. Turnovers basically happen every 3 seconds in a hockey game. Not so much in soccer. Good hesitation move. It's sent back out to the right side.
Yeah, Chicago Nation has been very deliberate.
Goshen has really not done much on offense, partner. It seems like they haven't had the ball for more than a full minute.
Well, I feel like that was the first time they actually had some offensive possession to it. Chicago Nation with the ball again.
Loose ball at the 20-yard line.
This could be a long day for Goshen. Never mind the goal scoring. Just don't let Chicago Nation score.
You can't really blame it on the travel. It's not that big of a commute. They're in South Bend. About 30-minute drive from South Bend. So, 2.5 hours to Glen Ellen, give or take? Not like Springfield when it was about a 4.5-hour drive to here.
I like the drive out here, though. It's nice, the suburbs, as opposed to driving through the city and all the traffic.
It's not a great time to go to the bars either. Very cold. Not a great bar hopping night.
Wait a minute. You go into the bars, it's warm, right?
Yeah, but before you got there, it was cold. Dizdarevich, he usually leads the attack on their corner kicks. Past the 6-minute mark. Good corner out in front. It's partially touched by Dave Fonseca and can't get that one on net either. Goal kick coming up. It's a pretty good corner, though, partner. It forced Da Fonseca to come out to touch it, and he wasn't able to catch it. Almost a rebound chance for Chi Nation.
Yeah, I was looking at the camera, but I think it was deflected. It's another corner kick.
Oh, I thought it was shot by.
It was
Chi
a shot,
Nation.
but I think the defender got in the way, and hence why the other field goal attempt. Now I think we have a corner kick from the other side. Now, this is where, it's just me speaking, I would like to see a left-handed kicker initiate from this end. You want it to curl toward the net. A right-handed kick will curl away from the net.
Another corner out in front, and great catch that time by Da Fonseca.
That was a perfect corner kick, though, far post.
Chi Nation. First time all day, they've really been on defense, and that time it was 20 seconds as Demoneghai will play it.
Yeah, you felt like the ball got from one end to the other in like 5 seconds. So now the Chicago Nation will bring it up again, relatively deliberate.
Sutton, even though he's listed as defender, you'll see him past the midway point sometimes. As Goshen doesn't like the call, but looked like it was the right one. The text line's open, your favorite MLS. Champions League, Premier League, World Cup memory. Text 330-957-7653.
Does that include the Chicago Sting in the 80s in the Indoor Soccer League?
You could include it.
Pato Marhetic.
No intramurals, though, because if I don't know your league, it doesn't count. No beer league soccer memories. That's Barstool Sports. This is SBS.
Beer League Soccer.
Sasa Lebovic out to the sideline. Now played by Dizdarevich. He had a couple of goals last season, and he was actually their leading goal scorer for most of it. He scored in that championship game to beat Indy Gladiators to get to the round of 16. No look pass, no one home to retrieve it. but Lebovich on it, and Chi Nation maintaining their attack.
The
Now
ball
out to
control's
midfield.
been terrific from Chi Nation. This feels like one of those games where it's a matter of time. Goshen just has had no offensive pressure whatsoever.
Stolen away by Chi Nation. Chance falls to the turf looking for the call. Was it in the goalie box?
I think he was, and I think they're going to give it to him.
If so, it's a penalty shot coming up for Chi Nation. And a huge mistake by Goshen.
Yeah, this is a very severe penalty. I feel like the ball was on the outer edge of the goalie crease, and it's going to be a penalty kick, though.
Do you
Big
think Da
mistake.
Fonseca has any type of shot here to make the save?
You know, I don't know what the goal save percentage is on penalty kicks. Maybe 78% go in. I don't know what it is in this league, but odds are good it'll be in the net at the end of this.
And
a real tough call against Goshen that really didn't need to happen.
yeah, I mean, it
far
wasn't
away.
at a great angle either. Even if he beats you, it would have been a tough shot on net. Now it's almost a give-me goal for Chi Nation. One of their best goal scorers, Dizarevich, will take it. Shot. It's in the net. Chi Nation strikes first. Well, that didn't take long. Less than 20 minutes into the match. A PK for Chi Nation. And then they now have 8 goals on the season.
Yeah, I'm just sad it came on a penalty kick. I just like goals that they feel more earned to me when they happen. Now there's a result of a penalty kick, but it was definitely a penalty, and you got to call it, and dems the rules, as they say.
Dems the rules.
Dems the rules.
Out at midfield. Played by Goshen. The only time they've really had possession was on the opening kickoff.
Well, now Goshen has to work from behind.
Matute back to his defense. Stop and start move. Now over to Cruz as he'll set it up to Da Fonseca. Yeah, Perner. I mean, the game of soccer, one PK like that, I'm not saying it's going to be a 1-0 final score because Chi Nation usually leads the Midwest Central Division in goals scored anyways. So this could be a 2-0 or better score for Chi Nation. But if it's 1-0, that's just a penalty you can't have that early on in the match, especially.
Yeah, I think we're looking at a multiple goal game. It's not going to be 1-0. It's going to be somewhere in the 5-6 range. It's going to be a guess.
I don't know. I mean, as good as Chi Nation has looked with their passing, they can't get the shots on net. I mean, the only goal they scored was off a PK. The other 2 shots were way high.
Yeah, but that's been almost nonstop pressure the whole game from Chicago Nation, and that will definitely wear on Goshen City. And we'll have to see how this pans out. But the camera for me is always on the left side of the field here.
Isaac Sodden now, he's going to attack. Sends it up in front. Good job stopping that pass by Dizdarevich. The only goal scored by him. It's in the net. Chi Nation scores again. So much for the 1-0 score. It's now 2-0 in favor of the home team. Zaha Shikichenko.
You can hear screaming on the field, Zaha, so that's what they call him. What a great name to have for a soccer player, Zaha.
But if he makes a mistake, he gets the nickname Haha. Oh. Thank you. I'm here till Tuesday. Try the veal.
Ooh, they faked the camera out on that one. Nice steal.
Do you think that Da Fonseca should have had that one, or just too much of a blistering shot to try to stop?
It was deflected. There's not much you can do when that happens. Here's trouble. Yeah, it just, oops. Yeah, it just got deflected. If you're the goalie, you just can't stop those deflections.
Well, you like to see that if you're a fan of Chi Nation. Had some trouble getting it on net, but that time they get it in front and they finally get it on net. It was a perfect shot right to the near post, right past the goalie. 2-0 in favor of Chi Nation.
Well, and you called it well, too. They had those 2 quality shots, just went over the net, and then they had the PK. That was 3 quality shots very early in the first period, first half, whatever we call these things. And then it then followed up right away with another deflected goal, just like in hockey. Those deflected shots are real tough to stop, and it's a big net.
So the PK
and then a regular goal, and that's where we stand right now. 2-0 in favor of Chicago Nation Football Club.
And no offense yet from Goshen City.
Yeah, I mean, the only time that it's been in Chi Nation's defensive area is when Chi Nation's just passing to their teammate. And then they just go right back on the attack. Well, if they're getting the subs ready as Goshen, but partner, I don't know if you go to the subs quite yet, but you also want to shake things up. If you're down 3-0, it's basically over. So I can understand making some major moves to go to the subs. Because if Chi Nation scores again, I don't see enough, especially without their best offensive player, according to the United Premier Soccer League website. I don't see enough in Goshen's offense to score 3 unanswered goals.
Well, right now they've got to get the ball upfield so they can pass it to somebody to take a shot. Right now, no shots on, no corner kicks, nothing.
At this level, there's enough talent in these players. They can probably score from 20 yards out, but preferably you'd like to get that 10 to 15-yard shot.
Right now, I think they'd settle for some ball possession.
Right. I'm just saying, because Goshen's going to have limited opportunities, it looks like.
Right.
When do you start shooting? Do you shoot at the 30-yard line? Do you shoot at the 20? What angle do you want to shoot?
Yeah, you got to shoot in such a way that you got a high percentage shot going, especially down 3. Can't just take any random shot.
But if you have limited opportunities, can you not be so, what's it called?
Choosy. Exactly right. This is the second attempt it's trying to send the ball.
Good job by Devin Eghigh, just getting up there to kick it away.
That was some real nice ball control on the catching it.
Well, it's a pretty good pressure right now by Goshen. We'll see how Chi Nation answers out to the sideline.
They push the ball to the other side. Nobody's there.
It also seems like we don't have the heights for either team, by the way, but it seems like Chi Nation has a significant advantage in terms of height, too. Not that that matters so much in soccer, but it does matter on those corners, and Chi Nation's had a couple of corners thus far. Now back out to Gonzalez. Now to Da Fonseca. It's a beautiful night for soccer. Text line open, 330-957-7653.
There's another send attempt, right?
Out to the sideline, played by Gonzalez. He's just all over the pitch right now. Sent up in front, easily read by Chi Nation. Second opportunity on offense coming up for Goshen. Now at the 15-yard line, looking for the handball. And partner, the refs might have missed it. I think I saw the ball hit the knuckles there, right in front.
Yikes! If that happened, I couldn't really tell from here.
Now out to the 5-yard line. That's a huge call. Look how quickly Chi Nation gets it up to the other side of the pitch.
Well, that's how much a referee can affect an outcome of a game. I mean, the penalty kick was because of a penalty called. No handball if it indeed happened, and then 5 seconds later, the ball's at the other end.
It was outside the goalie box, so it would have been a normal free kick, but it was close enough to the PK area that it was almost like a PK, even though it would have been a free kick.
Now, the beauty of this is you get to replay it at your leisure to see if it indeed was a handball or not.
It doesn't matter if it's inadvertent. If it hits any part of the hand, it's a handball regardless.
Well, unless your hand, of course, is against your body, but you're saying it was outstretched, huh?
Well, he didn't try to push at the ball, but his knuckles got in the way of the ball. So technically, yes, it was a handball. Remember we saw that last year in the Berber City game?
Wouldn't that be called a knuckle ball?
Ah! Are you also here till Tuesday?
I hope not, because it's cold.
Do we try the veal or the chicken parmesan?
Yeah, it'll definitely warm up, though.
For the longest time, like I saw that joke in the movie Shrek.
Uh-oh.
And it wasn't a pun, but Shrek says after he beats up all those guys in the ring, he says, "Thank you, I'm here till Tuesday, try the veal." And I never really understand what that meant. But now I know that Mike Myers has kids, so it's just a dad joke type of punchline. Anything that Goshen can do in terms of
strategy here, or are they just overmatched right now by Shy Nation?
Well, it's both. They are overmatched, right? But I think what they have to do is get the ball, get control, and be a lot more deliberate. They've tried sending the ball upfield 3 times. I don't think trying to be a one-way offensive unit when you're on defense most of the game is a good strategy. If it were me, I would continue to make passes in the back, send it from one side to the other, make the defense switch sides, and deliberately bring the ball up slowly with those little triangles. That's how I think I would approach it if I'm Goshen City. Take some time off the clock while you're doing that. Be deliberate. You can't get the game back in one kick.
Yeah, they're gonna need at least 2 goals to tie it, so they need 2 good kicks. But not just 2 good kicks. You got to have 6 good passes in a row to get it in front, and then you just hope to get it past Devin Eghai. The other problem is, partner, Devin Eghai doesn't give up a lot of goals.
Well, that's the thing. You got to get quality shots. That's why they were practicing the passing shots in front earlier. They're warming up with the right things. I mean, it's a well-coached team. It's just a very good Chicago Nation team.
Yeah, I mean, you don't win 3 straight division titles for nothing.
Exactly.
And the seeds of doubt have been there in those championship matches. We were on the call in that spring game last year, a hot day in June, and Bavarian gave them their best shot. It was a 1-0 final score, and Shy Nation didn't score till the 85th minute. But other than that, it's hard to beat this team in the division. That's why they've won 3 straight titles.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about soccer. Things happen in soccer, too. Sometimes it's not always the best team that wins, although, being coached at a young age, the club directors would say, there's no such thing as you're better but if you lost. I mean, whoever wins is the better team. But there's deflections and strange things that happen in soccer. Those penalty kicks change the outcome.
So the call is going to be against Shy Nation, but partner, there was a push-off by a Goshen player after the call, so should have been 2 yellow cards at the same time. Kevin Cruz pushed off after the call was made.
Well, and if it was green, give him a 1-game suspension.
Right in front, easily read by Devin Eghai. I like the idea, but it's just the wrong netminder to try that on. He's going to read that all day long.
Well, and he reached over his head to get it, too, so there's no chance for a header, and he had a good read on the play. It was just a good attempt at a centering pass. Just didn't work.
Well, you're not going to score twice on one shot, so you just got to find a way to get back in the game before halftime.
Well, here we go. Oh, offside.
It's going to be a goal kick regardless, as Devin Eghai was going to let that roll past the end line. Well, you got to try it. See if the official's on target to make the call. They missed that handball, so you never know, but usually they don't miss offside at this level. And if you miss offsides as an official, because it's semi-pro, you won't be reffing much more games going forward. But they usually have a very good crew for these UPSL broadcasts.
I've been very impressed with the reffing at this level. They talk to the players rather than card them, and I like that. You just control the game. You don't have to control it with cards. Say what you're thinking, be direct, warn players, but you don't have to change the outcome of the game by making severe calls, unless, of course, it's a penalty in the goalie box.
If you're just joining us, Shy Nation, they scored twice in front of that, one from a penalty kick, and then they scored a regular goal to make it 2-0. Distarevich scored on the PK. Kickoff, we're going to start calling him the secret weapon. He has been fantastic early on in the season.
Yeah, every time you say his name, I want to say, watch your language.
Maybe that should be his nickname, Rated R. We can't call him the Kid because that's Ken Griffey Jr.'s nickname.
Yeah, just have to use his first name. It's kind of unique.
Zaha.
Similar to Pele. You'll know who you're talking about.
You remember Clinton Dix?
Oh, yes, I do. He's a good player.
Yeah. Free kick coming up. Ball placed at the 27-yard line. Arching towards the center, up in the air. Goshen called for a handball that time, but part of that was not a handball. Here comes Shy Nation. It's a 2-on-2 if they hurry. And Goshen gets back on the back check.
Yeah, there's a lot of penetration on this.
Out in front.
Better pass would have been in.
Yeah, and the thing is, two-parter, something I want to ask you, because it's a little bit wet on this turf, in a regular 60-degree, 70-degree day when there hasn't been rain, you might see a guy slide down to try to get that on net to avoid the goal kick. On a day like this where it's slippery, injuries are more prone to happen on a slippery day like this. Is that a good idea to not try to slide to try to get that on net?
Well, that's a great question and a great point. But because the ball slides faster, you just have to get there quicker on the offensive set to try to tip it in, and then of course then you risk stretching your groin or something like that going after the ball. But you still got to try to make that crossing pass. But because it's a faster surface, it's going to get there quicker.
Right. Well, what I was saying, because he put too much on the pass, so it was way too in front of his fellow forward. But sometimes on a hotter day, you might see that forward a one last effort dive to try to kick it on net off the pass, but on a play like that, he just let it go to the end line. It's early in the half, but I also wanted to ask you about that since it's a colder day and it's a little bit slippery on the turf as well.
Well, because the turf is slipperier, you're in a little bit less danger, but still under the turf is cement, and when it's wet and cold like this, that cement hurts.
Dizdarevich setting it up out to Klabjan. He did not play in the home opener, and there's a little bit more fans here than the home opener. It was cold that night as well. We had a spring for about a couple weeks, and then it ended very quickly.
Oh, the flowers came up in the yard, though. They're beautiful. Then we had the snow, and they're still there, so it wasn't that bad of a snow. Kind of put a blanket over them. So I'm the proud owner of a very pretty flower-filled garden. And we might be the owner of a little dwarf, or I guess you call it mini, golden labradoodle. That's what we're fostering today, and I have a feeling we're going to be a foster fail on this one.
A dwarf golden doodle? I don't know what that is.
Mini golden labradoodle.
Is that an actual dog, not a puppy golden doodle?
A golden doodle, yeah. It's got little fuzzy fur. It feels like Angora, right? This little dog's kind of perfect.
But it's not a puppy. It's a dwarf golden doodle?
It's a mini, and it's a year old.
Yeah, golden doodles are pretty cool, as are labradoodles.
So we'll know by next broadcast if we're a foster fail or not.
I think you'll be good owners to the dog.
Yeah, we're animal people. Cats might not be so happy, but.
Are you all animal people? Do you have iguanas and snakes?
No, we're not that bad, fortunately.
No tarantulas?
I think the wife would die first. Of fright.
Buzz had one in Home Alone. Here comes Goshen. One of the few times they've had chances on the offensive end. Klabjan there to steal it.
To the somersault.
Go again, back to the normalized way of what's happening tonight. Chi Nation on the attack.
Yeah, that's an unusual attack for Chi Nation. Usually they're more deliberate. They were going for the break on the send, but that also has the effect of clearing the ball.
And it just seems like a better Chi Nation team. Like we talked about coming into the broadcast, they've looked sluggish at times in the first 20 minutes of action. We haven't seen that in the home opener, and we haven't seen that tonight. Just excellent soccer play for most of the game. In fact, I can't really think of one mistake Chi Nation has made except for maybe that handball, but even that was inadvertent.
Yeah, this is definitely a fast start.
According to the Goshen website, they have a lot of goalies on the roster, and that's definitely a foul committed by Goshen. There'll be a free kick coming up for Chi Nation. If he gives him another one, do you consider going to the backup to give him some minutes? Because 3-0, I think it's pretty much over.
Well, I think it's almost pre-planned. Do you want to play your starter? Do you want to play your backup? I don't think a third goal is going to determine, okay, I'm firing the goalie.
Well, it's not really firing either. It's just it's out of hand. We don't know when we're going to need to use our backup in an injury or an emergency situation.
Yeah,
Get him some minutes in a game that's pretty much we're not going to come back from.
Yeah, as a coach, I think if I were to make that change, I would just do it at halftime when it's not quite so detrimental to your confidence. So if that change gets made, expect it at halftime, I think. Oh, they're calling that out.
So if Chi Nation goes into halftime up 2-0 and they score again in the second half, you would stick with Da Fonseca for the rest of the match?
That's, I think, what I would do, unless, got to 5 or 6-0 and something else happened. But, I would keep the same goalie in. If I'm going to make the change, it'll happen at halftime or not make it.
I mean, that's what really separates soccer from hockey. In a shootout, the goalie has a 50-50 chance, right? Unless it's like Patrick Kane or a Hall of Fame forward. In soccer, the goalie has, what, a 20% chance of making the save on the PK?
Yeah, it's very small. That's why it's almost a free goal. Here we go, centered. Yeah, it's almost a free goal on penalty kicks. That's why I get frustrated when penalties happen out on the fringe. The goal wouldn't have happened even if the penalty didn't occur. So I think, but it's an automatic penalty if you cause, what would normally be a free kick in the goalie box.
Right. I mean, you just got to know. You got to have soccer IQ. You got to know where you're at. And you got to have help. You got to have, what am I trying to say? You got to have confidence in your teammates. If you get beat on the play, they're going to help out on the rotation.
Well, and there's a word, I'm going to use an indoor word, court awareness you need to have, that you just can't commit a foul inside your
awareness, box. Soccer IQ, football IQ.
And that's sometimes the difference between good players or not. Players are so talented, but you have to add, sports IQ to it as well. You play with your brain.
You think about the 2006 World Cup. The captain of France, a headbutt. Zinedine Zidane. I mean, what are you doing? Great player, but the soccer IQ is at an all-time low. You think of other players not very athletic. Larry Bird, fantastic basketball IQ. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame. I mean, it's not just about athleticism and raw talent.
Well, is Zidane in the French Hall of Fame?
I believe so, yeah. But in a World Cup championship game, what are you doing?
Retaliating.
Well, you should never do a headbutt, but especially not in a World Cup championship. Free kick coming up. That's one thing that Shy Nation's got to work on, partner. Why is it going so high? I mean, it's not even close to hitting the crossbar.
Well, the first thing you want to say is you got to keep your toe pointed down and stay above the ball. But that's like too generic. I don't know what happened on that when he just missed it. Yeah, it was way wide. I think he was going for the upper right corner, and he's looking to bend it, and maybe the ball is wet and it couldn't bury his foot in the ball. Or maybe they didn't do the inflate gate thing and the ball was real full.
And, the old terminology, crash net philosophy, I get it's kind of cliched, but once you get that ball in front of the net to that nice 10 to 20-yard sweet spot, anything can happen. So I get it, like if you do a little tap pass up in the air, yeah, they could just steal it right away and go back on the attack. But you never know. It hits the wrong part of the head, and then it's a rebound try for your teammate. But when you don't get it on net at all and you don't give your teammate a chance to head it up or head it towards the net, you have no chance. It's basically a wasted play.
I think most coaches will say you want to pass the ball into the net, not shoot it into the net.
Yeah, I mean, unless you have a free kick from less than 15 yards away, usually those free kicks are more passing plays.
See, I like the ball control right in front of the net. Don't panic. Be patient. Wait for your break. I guess that's the break they waited for. Well, this is when you say that attack was defended well by Goshen.
They just can't get it past midfield, though. I mean, we've only seen, 3 or 4 times past the midway line.
Yeah, and they were all sends. They weren't ball control bringing it up methodically. Like right now, this is a methodical attempt to bring the ball up. Good centering pass. Still with control.
It also seems like Shy Nation is a step quicker than Goshen. When Shy Nation gets the pass, they know where they're going with it next. Goshen, they accept the pass, and they got to look around where their teammate is to send it.
Well, here, a great example here. Goshen had the ball for 4 or 5 passes. They were deliberately bringing the ball up, and then ascend into 4 defenders. I mean, what did you think was going to happen? Uh-oh.
Yeah, you got to call that one. Not only was it a foul, but Goshen stole it, so it was a double whammy against Shy Nation.
Yeah, the referees won't call it if they keep possession.
Right, if you have the advantage. But clearly Shy Nation did not have the advantage because it was an illegal slide tackle and they lost the ball.
Yeah, and there was a flattened Chicago Nation on the field.
Yeah, definitely no clear advantage. Free kick. What do you want to set up here? Something towards the sideline in front of the net. That time they go sideline to sideline.
Yeah, I was a little surprised. I would have said, maybe on that free kick, just maintain control and send it back to your defense. I don't know that you're a little too far from the net to try to center it. It's a push from behind and another push from behind. A little pushing never hurt anybody.
Well, partner, it just hasn't been Goshen's night thus far. There's definitely a foul. Well, another shot here for Goshen. See what they do with it, but thus far it's been all Shy Nation.
They chose this time to go quickly upfield. It didn't work.
We're now at 33:45 remaining. Shy Nation has 12 minutes left of soccer to play with. Do you stay aggressive or do you want to be a little conservative here?
For Chicago Nation,
Yeah.
Again, that would be deliberate with the ball. Ball control is the name of the game here. Reminds me of the Blackhawks. Just hold on to the puck as long as you can. Hold on to the ball. And I'm not saying don't shoot it, and I'm saying stay aggressive, but you want ball possession.
Unless you're right in front of the net, maybe look for that extra pass to try to get that sweet shot.
It's a good move.
It's an excellent deke. Not a good pass, though.
But right. The pass is errant. That's what Goshen does. They just give up the errant passes in the offensive zone. Maybe you could attribute to that being their top scorer isn't on the field. Got an injury on the far side. We didn't see it happen.
This is a newly formed team, by the way.
Goshen?
Yep. It was founded by Henrique Eichenberger.
You know, he's still down on the field. You know, soccer players have that reputation for getting hurt and staying down on the field, but he probably really got his bell rung on this one.
Like I said, it's not ideal conditions for soccer tonight, although the rain and sleet has died down the last 5 minutes or so.
There he goes. Well, like I said, we didn't see the play, but if you play it back, it might have been in the background of the view we had. So you may be able to see what happened if you play it back.
So when you rewatch the play, so Goshen was on the attack, errant pass, read well by Shy Nation, and as it's sent over to the sideline. Yeah, it was actually on the other far sideline. It wasn't even where the pass was. So here it is again, sent up. Yeah, he just fell on his own accord. That's why you got to tie those shoes, wrap up those ankles.
Or you slipped on the field. That's very slippery.
Yeah. It's you know, when you reread what's happened in NFL history,
NFL.
the famous NFL. Yeah, I'm going to tell you a story because of bad weather conditions. In the 1934 NFL championship, the Bears were beating the Giants. So what did the Giants do?
They changed their cleats.
Right. They went to gym shoes in a very snowy, mucky day. I'm not saying that Goshen would do that, but crazier things have happened in the history of sports in not ideal conditions to try to get a victory. I think the Bears were winning like 12-6 or 6-0 at half, and then the Giants scored 31 unanswered. Why the Bears didn't change to gym shoes, I'll never know. Probably one that George Halas would like to have back.
They didn't bring their gym shoes that day.
Yeah, I guess not. You didn't bring two. Remember, you weren't paid a lot as an NFL player. Here comes Shy Nation. Great lead pass to Dizdarevich from a good angle. Shot saved by Fonseca. Ball still loose up in the air. We play on at the 10-yard line. And what are they going to call here, Bob? Offside?
It looked like a push from behind.
Okay. What a save by Fonseca. Not exactly a game-saving. Definitely a foul committed by Sutton. And you can try, if you're Shy Nation, you can try to keep pleading your case, but all it does to the officials is not like you very much.
That stuff does annoy the officials. They are humans. They are good at what they do. So take their call and move on. Of course, it's easy for me to say. I remember in my younger years, I didn't take the call and move on.
Right. And then you became an official and you understood, yeah, it's not so great on the other foot.
No, then I became a basketball referee and found out how hard it is.
It'll be Ariel Matute to take this free kick. Straight up in the air, headed well by Shy Nation. Capitanos on it now as it's out to the 33-yard line, sent up. And now played by Goshen as they kick it out.
Whoops.
It's been a fun one here in Glen Ellen.
It has been. This is a good game, even though it's 2-0. It's well played, definitely competitive. The Chicago Nation has had the edge on ball control and certainly the score.
Once again, the text line is open, 330-957-7653. Is that horn annoying yet, Bob? Because it certainly is for me.
It's just a minor air horn. I want to hear that vuvuzela a few more times.
You do, or is
Yeah.
that sarcasm?
I do.
To Shy Nation, another chance, but lost it. Looking for a push from behind. Got to get that on net, partner. They had a shot, but just couldn't handle the pass.
Oh, great.
Out in front, another
catch.
try for Shy Nation. On net, in the net.
That was set up by the great pluck out of midair.
Dizdarevich with 2 goals on the night, and that might be the dagger. 3-0 lead for the home team.
Yeah, early for a dagger, but what great ball control. The ball came out of the air, put it right at his feet, didn't bounce very far away from him, so the defense couldn't stop the shot. Moved slightly to the right, just behind the penalty kick circle. It was a great kick on net. What a wonderful goal. That would be one you put on a highlight film.
I just don't see anything from Goshen that says they're going to score 3 times. And it's not just Goshen, how much they've struggled offensively tonight. Devin Aghai doesn't give up 2 or more goals on a daily basis. So I don't see Goshen scoring 3 times.
Well, they have to play for other things. Again, figure out how to improve, work their plays. Again, maintain possession. Come up field with passing, not sending the ball.
Set up in front, no one home to redirect it in. Then it'll be a goal kick coming up for Shy Nation.
Yeah, that was a clear attempt at a shot on from a little too far away.
Ricardo Garcia on the shot attempt. If you're Goshen, do you go with all your subs in the second half?
I'm looking at their bench. How many subs do they have?
That's all their subs right there. They got a decent amount.
Yes, they do. That would be a temptation.
And nothing's really worked with your stars, but the thing is, your bench players are usually your bench players for a reason, right?
Well, but you do have to keep them interested in the season, and putting them in a game like this might not be a bad call.
But if you put them in, would Shy Nation score 4 goals in the second half and make this a laugher? I'm not saying it would happen, but...
Well, Shy Nation has a bench, too.
Right. So will Shy Nation go to the bench in the second half, too?
We'll
see.
If they do, it would be Goshen goes first, right?
Yeah, I think Goshen will go to the bench first, try to put some new people in there, fresh legs, and for Shy Nation, they'll probably go to the bench at the 50th or 60th minute.
Well, this would be a good game to pick up some experience if you're Goshen's bench, so there could be something to that. We'll see what they do.
Goshen City, led by head coach Tim Welkening. And
this might be a yellow. Let's see. Are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. No yellow. Move on.
Shikichenko, he's a sneaky little devil, isn't he? He just finds ways to get to the ball. Good job receiving passes, then gets that shot on net.
Yeah, what I also liked about that exchange, he's going to walk up to him. Let's see, is the yellow coming? Walking that way. Let's see what they do. I kind of liked how Goshen ran away and hid.
It didn't happen, right? Just hide in a hole. They'll never find out that we did it.
No yellow. Good.
It was inadvertent, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. Like, just, how from where you came from behind on the slide tackle would differentiate between a regular foul and a yellow card.
Well, and to me, he was going for the ball. He just missed.
Right. And it's like we've said going into this broadcast, the officials know that the conditions are not ideal. So the way that you're going to slip on the turf is going to be different than a regulation game.
Well, and there's referee mannerisms, too. He deliberately set that play up slow. Kind of let both heads cool.
Got possession of it briefly. Then a good lead pass. Another chance for Shy Nation. Tap pass. One-timer try just outside the foot on the one-timer chance. Great job on the tap passes, on the give and goes, and Da Fonseca was just kind of bewildered. Where's the ball going next? If it had just been right on target, it would have been an easy goal to make it 4-0. Well,
and there again, I tend to blame, at least giving somebody the benefit of the doubt, the fast field. So that's why the ball scooted past them. It was probably a good pass on a normal day when the field is slower.
Goshen is led by head coach Tim Wilkening. They're assisted by Tyler Bourne and Henrique Eichenberger. 4 goals coming into tonight, so they average 2 a game. After this, they'll play Round Lake Evolution. Then they'll have back-to-back home games against Panathinaikos Chicago and United Serbian Soccer Club. That kick very wide.
Yeah, I liked his shot, though. It was wide.
Yeah,
He was,
I like
again,
the
hoping for
idea.
the bend. Again, I'm wondering if the cold weather and maybe the inflated ball caused him not to bury his foot in the ball, therefore he couldn't bend it quite as much. In other words, on a normal day, maybe that has more chance to go in.
Wasn't from an ideal angle either. It was at the 18-yard line, so a 28-yard shot. That's a boot, partner. You know, you watch this game, you're like, oh, it can't be that hard to kick that soccer ball. It's extremely difficult, especially when it's cold like tonight.
Well, in games, not just soccer, but are way different up close versus the last row of the bleachers. Everything up here looks a lot slower. You get down on the field there, everything is a lot faster. And you see just how good these athletes are.
And maybe not a good idea for me to be playing soccer after I had a Portillo's Italian beef with a soft drink.
In my playing days, when I would go indoor soccer and then watch, and I'll say it again, the Chicago Sting, you just don't realize how fast those guys are. I thought I was fast until I saw how fast those guys were.
I went to Taves' last game a couple weeks ago.
You were there?
I was there, yeah. I remember I invited you, but
I forgot about that was the game, though.
It was Taves' last game. You blew it.
I chose a volleyball practice over Taves' last game.
Yeah, you really blew that one. But, my buddy was there, and now he has a very intense job. He's an anesthesiologist. And so he's watching how quickly these guys move back and forth, and we played hockey together. He's like, Kyle, these hockey players, just watching them is tiring me out.
Yeah. 30-second shift, you're back on the bench.
And just multiply that by 2, and that's how much cardio soccer is. Because at least in hockey, you're back on the bench and you get a 2-minute break. Soccer is just constant.
Oh, I don't know. I think you kind of rest. Like right now, nobody's really moving very much. Whereas hockey, you are a constant, literally a 45-second sprint.
Yes and no. Depends what position. And remember, once you break the puck out, so if you're a defender, you pass it up the boards, and then you kind of stay back a little bit.
Not on a winning team.
Right. Well, you're still, like, once you get the puck to the boards, the wingers are breaking it out. So you're not doing much until you get the pass back on a trailing play or a one-timer chance from the point. Look at that bicycle kick, by the way. My goodness.
And again, the cement that he landed on, that's tough. I mean, maybe a shot on goal with that kind of kick, but I don't know at midfield doing that.
Remember, it's semi-pro. These guys aren't paid Chicago Fire money.
You keep doing those bicycle kicks at midfield, maybe you're a Chicago Fire future player.
Maybe, yeah. But you gotta be healthy to do it. You keep doing those bicycle kicks when it's 40 degrees, you might sprain something.
Sprain? Nothing. Concussion.
Okay, that too. That'll do it for the first half. Chi Nation leads 2-0, actually 3-0. Partner, anything that Goshen can do differently, or does it looks like it's going to be an inevitable Chicago Nation victory?
Well, 2 things. First, time absolutely flew. That was a fast 40 minutes in the first, the first half. But Goshen, if they're going to get back in this game, it's going to be with ball control and shorter passes. Try not to send somebody into the 4 defenders from Chicago Nation. To me, it's all about ball control. Clearly, you need to stop Chicago Nation from scoring more. And you can't say their defense has been poor in any way. They had the 1 penalty kick that didn't go their way, right? But other than that, they're playing okay on defense. It's unfortunately they can't transition into a sustained offensive push. So that's where Goshen is not doing as well as they'd like. And of course, a shutout in the first half is not good.
We're going to take a break. More SBS soccer action coming up next in about 20 minutes from now.
Hi guys, this is Alan from C1 Transportation. I have good news. We are hiring over-the-road drivers with 2 or more years of experience. Our drivers make $100,000 to $120,000 a year driving 3 to 4 weeks at a time. Don't miss your chance to start driving with C1 Transportation and call our recruiter right now.
Hello guys, how you doing? My name is Robert Mitten. As you can see, I'm part of the C1 team. C1 is gonna be #1. I had a Class B CDL license for about 4 years. I just upgraded to a Class A. When it comes to experience, I have about 6 months experience. I found this company by a good friend of mine named Andy. He also helped my cousin get in named Ricardo. And we have a friend of mine named Twan. He's here with us. It's a great company to work for. It's a growing company. Also, my supervisor, Danny, he's the best. He's a real good guy, man. Hey, Danny. With all the other drivers, everybody here, we all get along. We work together as a team. That's pretty much it, guys. Just, if you're interested, apply. It's a great company to work for. The staff is perfect. C1 is gonna be #1.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on Channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
I started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Hi guys, this is Alan from C1 Transportation. I have good news. We are hiring over-the-road drivers with 2 or more years of experience. Our drivers make $100,000 to $120,000 a year driving 3 to 4 weeks at a time. Don't miss your chance to start driving with C1 Transportation and call our recruiter right now.
Hello guys, how you doing? My name is Robert Mitten. As you can see, I'm part of the C1 team. C1 is gonna be #1. I had a Class B CDL license for about 4 years. I just upgraded to a Class A. When it comes to experience, I have about 6 months experience. I found this company by a good friend of mine named Andy. He also helped my cousin get in named Ricardo. And we have a friend of mine named Twan. He's here with us. It's a great company to work for. It's a growing company. Also, my supervisor, Danny, he's the best. He's a real good guy, man. Hey, Danny. With all the other drivers, everybody here, we all get along. We work together as a team. That's pretty much it, guys. Just, if you're interested, apply. It's a great company to work for. The staff is perfect. C1 is going to be number one.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on Channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
I started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on Channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
I started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and
Good evening, everybody. Kyle Smith alongside Bob Vilsoe for SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone. Partner, it is 3-0 in favor of Shy Nation. The player of the game has definitely been Jasminko Dizdarevich. 2 goals. He's been phenomenal tonight.
Yes, he has, and that's what it's going to take for Goshen to come back. They're going to need somebody to be phenomenal on their side of the ball, and unfortunately their leading scorer isn't here, but they got to hold on to the ball, make a play out in front of the net where they can kind of, high-quality shots where they can score a couple quickly, because they can't wait for too much longer. A 3-goal lead is going to be hard to catch up if there's not a whole lot of time left in the game.
Their top scorers, we talked about, Jonathan Boyer is not here tonight. Arturo Hernandez Barrera, he's their second-best goal scorer. He's been shut down by this stifling Chicago Nation defense.
That was pretty good. You've been taking Spanish lessons behind my back?
2 years of Spanish in high school. And Vanessa Di Bernardo was the daughter of my Spanish teacher.
Vanessa Di what?
Yeah, Vanessa Di Bernardo, the Chicago Red Stars star.
Wow.
Yeah, I've told you that before. You were just sleeping on me when I told you that story.
Clearly. I thought you were telling me something important then.
So, do you officially go by Robert, Bobby, or Bob?
When I was till 4th grade, I was a Bobby. Right, and then my 4th grade teacher said, "You can't be called Bobby anymore. You're growing up now. You need to be called Bob." Of course, being the man that I was in 4th grade, I went home and immediately cried to my mom, "Mommy, she's changing my name from Bobby to Bob."
But you're never a Robert?
I was on my birth certificate, but I've successfully changed my name on my driver's license and my passport to Bob. And I sure can identify with females who have to change their last names because they got to change all these, everything where your name is one last name, you have to change it to another. And that's hard to work. I've done that over the years. When you get married, you have to have everything changed right away. So I can empathize with that.
You could hyphen it, or you know what? The guy could change his last name. It is the year 2023, after all.
You mean you wanted to be calling me Robert-Bob?
Yeah, I could do that. If I marry a Jones, I'll just become Kyle Jones, and she won't become Melissa Smith.
What would be the most common female Smith name? Jane Smith?
So John Smith, and there's a Jane Doe, probably Jane Smith. Just to go with the Jane Doe logic.
There's actually people listening to us talk about this.
That's all right. Like Vin Scully would not always talk about the Dodgers. He would just talk about stories. Now he would talk about his coming into the business.
Yeah, who was the guy in the last row he missed the tag? Oh, Bob Uecker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The greatest backup catcher in the history of Major League Baseball.
Oh, we're getting ready to start, and there was a soccer ball on the side of the net.
Yeah, you can't have two soccer balls on the pitch. Did I ever tell you that story about how my friend was umping a game, and there were two baseballs on the field at the same time during a play?
Not a part of the hidden ball trick?
No. So what happened was a dad got a foul ball, and there was a wild pitch. So the catcher's going after the ball behind home plate, and then the dad, because there was a hole behind the fence, and he put the foul ball underneath the fence, and so the catcher's going for the ball, and there's two baseballs right next to each other.
Geez. Send that dad to dad jail.
Yeah, so the ump ruled the run. Everybody advanced one base, and he told the fan, just don't do that anymore.
Don't do that again. Well, it's better than ejecting the fan. All right.
You're not gonna, are you going to really eject a fan for that?
I hope not.
If it was a playoff game, you could probably do it, but it was a regulation game, regular season game. But yeah, that's something that an umpire is not taught in the clinic. There's common sense, but sometimes the fans don't have it.
Well, and sometimes you don't want the umpire to have common sense. You want them just to call the rule book.
I guess, but that would really be somewhere deep in the rule book when a fan puts two baseballs on the field.
Now, the noticeable thing that changed in the soccer game is they switched sides.
What if the ref didn't see it? That soccer ball was still on the pitch.
Yeah, probably wouldn't have mattered.
Would Goshen just be like, oh, wait, we lost the ball. That's okay. We'll just kick this ball now towards the offensive end. Well, partner, I just don't think Goshen's going to score 3 times this half and hold Chicago Nation scoreless. So a silver lining maybe to score once to avoid the shutout.
Well, we talked about this on another broadcast the other day. You have to take those baby steps. So the baby steps they need to take is ball control, short passes, complete those passes, higher percentage of those passes, hold on to the ball for a while, and then get an opportunity to pass the ball into the net, not a 38-yard kick. And got to keep hustling.
Yeah, I like the no call there. It looked like he just fell on his own accord, and he was tripping as he was getting close to the ball.
I'm with you. I like the no call on that one.
It's also 3-0, though, so if it was 0-0, would the official have called it there? Maybe.
I think it was a no call is a no call in that case, yeah.
Sometimes the score can differentiate calls, not all the time, but... Because remember, if you don't call it there, that might have been Chi Nation's last chance at an attempt. You never know in the game of soccer, but 3-0. Regardless, Chi Nation's going to have more attacks besides what happened on that sideline near us.
Well, I'm going to say Goshen is in trouble here because Chicago Nation has better second halves than first halves, and they don't stop hustling. And I've seen them score goals when they're up, 5-0, 6-0, 7-0. So they're going to keep pouring it on if they can. Now, the flip side, if Goshen holds Chicago Nation from scoring more goals, you can say they actually played better defense in the second half. But Chicago Nation, they're not going to let up. At least that's been their history. And that's the mark of a well-coached team also. When you've got players that, continue to hustle for the coach, for the team, for the win, for the pride of it.
And what I meant by different calls are made at different scores. You know how in a basketball game when it's tied with under 30 seconds left and it's probably a foul, but the official lets it go?
Well, doesn't that depend on what the NBA script from Madison Avenue said is supposed to happen?
Oh, remember that Bengals-Chiefs game? And there were people on Twitter that were using the hashtag NFL conspiracy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. To me, Mahomes embellished that penalty, and
Right.
that penalty changed the whole game. I mean, that was clearly a field goal that shouldn't have been able
And
to
they
happen.
missed there was some flags that should have been called on the Bengals too that weren't called.
Well,
so it wasn't just that, but
and then on that kickoff return, there was a flag, no flag on the block in the back.
Yeah.
The ball would have been at the 9-yard line instead of it's like the 45-yard line. So if there was ever a game that makes you think the NFL is scripted, that was it.
right. And we know we always talk about how tough it is to be a basketball ref. In football, though, it can be tough because technically you could call holding on almost every play. But are you really going to do that?
Well, and I do think the NFL would do well to watch soccer a little bit and learn from it and call the penalties that actually affect the play.
Out in front, great read that time by Goshen to get ahead on that. Ball loose, now picked up by Goshen near the 15. Shy Nation doesn't like the call, but you know what? A foul's a foul, and that was the right call there by the nearest ref. Now played by 7, not on the roster. And now played by Eusebio, who's coming off the bench tonight.
So there's some excitement there with Goshen with the ball.
Yeah, you got to have sustained success in this league, Bob. It's not just a sometimes thing. It's got to be an always or a consistent thing.
Well, and
That's not been the thing for Goshen tonight.
Yeah, and that's, you just hit on the secret of Chicago Nation right there. They do hustle, through and through, no matter the score, for the whole entire game. And they've got talent. I've always said that, talent's good to have and, hustle is good to have, but the teams that win are the ones that hustle and have talent.
Everybody in MLS is a good soccer player, but what differentiates Hall of Fame and great from good? Can you consistently do it great? You're going to have games where you're great, and then there's going to be games where you're off or you're just not as good or you're not as effective. Great is not a sometimes thing. It's an always thing. And if you want to beat a great team like Shy Nation, it's got to be consistent. Great save that time by Devin Egghai.
What a deflection shot on. I mean, it totally underrated save. That ball changed direction, and he had to go back the other way to make the save. It's like you said earlier, it's hard to score on this goalie. He just showed why.
Got great size for the position, played in the Mexican League. We've tried to interview him before, but he doesn't speak any English. And as good as my Spanish is, it's not that good.
We just heard some Spanish fans speaking.
It's getting a little colder tonight. I have my gloves on now.
Yeah, and my little electronic egg in my pocket ran out of electricity. I had a birthday present for my wife. It's these little electronic hand warmers, but they're battery powered and you got to charge them.
It is a beautiful stadium here at Chaparral Stadium with these trees behind the goals. It is just beautiful here.
Yeah, and I'm insanely jealous because I coach at Harper College, right? And our stadium versus this stadium is night and day.
It almost feels like an NFL stadium at times. Now, you don't have the amount of fans here, but it's just beautiful.
Yeah, you hit it on the head. Absolutely gorgeous stadium. It's more gorgeous in the warmer weather, though.
Yeah, we'll get that maybe May 15th. We'll stop wearing jackets. Although, did I ever tell you that story when we were having a pool party in June and we put firewood into the fireplace? In June! We had a pool party. It got too cold, so we lit up the fireplace. And then Julie DeCaro would go on the radio on 670 The Score, and she would tell stories. She'd go to a Cubs game in like the middle of July, and her grandmother would tell her, make sure to bring your jacket. Grandma, it's the middle of July. You never know at Wrigley. Out in front. You think Peru would be pretty mad if it wasn't a shutout for him tonight?
Yes, I do. I think he's going to count on the defense to make sure that happens. And if I were the defense, I would take pride in getting the shutout. I would rather a 3-0 win than a 5-1 win or something like that. So I do think Chicago Nation's defense should rally to make sure that shutout happens.
I still feel bad for Tony Esposito. Game 7, the 71 Stanley Cup Final. The Hawks were up 2-0. Esposito lost the shutout. The lead, the tie, and the game, and the series all in one night. Nice lead pass in front. Chance for Shy Nation. Way too high on the shot. Great lead pass, though. Right on target.
That ball, I think, is in another zip code. He hit that so hard. So they got another ball out, a goalie kick.
I know you want to go top shelf, Bob, but maybe try to get those shots. You don't want to say kick it right at the goalie, but at least get it on net to the point where you hit it hard enough it possibly goes off the goalie's hands for a rebound try.
Yeah, I don't know. Was he really going for top shelf? I mean, you have a point. You absolutely want to kick it on net for sure. I don't know that he was intending to go high with it. But if he did try to go high with it, you can say he succeeded.
He succeeded. But yeah, get it on net. And that's what separates soccer from hockey, among other things. You don't get as many rebound tries in soccer like you do in hockey. Hockey, you can shoot it right at the pad, and you get that rebound try to the other angle. That doesn't happen so much in soccer. When you get that shot on net, it's really just one shot, one goal type of mentality. You're not really looking for rebounds all the time.
Centered.
Yeah, it was a good job getting it in front. Lead pass. Still loose. Chance for Goshen. Now back to the 10-yard line as it dribbles back to the 20. Fakes the shot. Lead pass out in front. Slow-moving ball. Headed forward by Shy Nation. Now at the 15. Great job by Sutton getting in the way of that. Possible foul. No call. Now they call it. And I'm going to let you call this one, Bob. I thought Sutton led with the shoulder. I thought this was going to be on Shy Nation.
Yeah, I couldn't see the play well enough. I was looking down at the camera, unfortunately. So I'm going to bail out on that, but obviously didn't like the call.
All right, we're going to look at it again on YouTube. This is a key call. I mean, I think the game is still over, but if Goshen were to score here, there might be some seeds of doubt into the minds of Shy Nation. But for Goshen to come back, they really need to score in the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Well, the referee is giving the free kick here to Chicago Nation. And he's the one that's getting up last. So without having seen the play, you almost have to say it was probably a Goshen foul, but you have to replay it and see it.
This is a big call, but Shy Nation's going to get the benefit of it. It's been pretty even, partner. We've seen free kicks pretty evenly for both teams.
Yeah, at this point, it would be real hard for us to say the referees haven't been just about as perfect as they get.
And you know what, partner? Even if it went Goshen's way, Goshen is in this spot for a reason. They've put themselves in this spot, not getting shots on net, not having consistent possessions. So when you look at it again, it does look like getting the feet of the defender right before Sutton got him with the shoulder. So it looked like they got the call right on the free kick. And that's a big call because it was right near the 10-yard line where it happened.
Yeah, right outside the goalie box there.
Good lead pass out
Wide
to Mr. Revich. Man, has he been a force tonight. Out in front. Oh, just wide. But better shot, better redirection chance that time by Shy Nation.
But again, a quality attempt.
So George is on the YouTube chat, and he asked us, what do you mean by all MLS players are good? When you get to Major League Soccer, for Americanized soccer, you're the best of the best, right? Are you the best in the world? Absolutely not. But when you get to the MLS era, all players are good, right? But to be great, it's got to be an all-the-time thing. It can't be a sometimes thing. And that separates scoring a hat trick one night and not scoring for a 3-week span versus scoring once every 2 games or once a game for 3 straight games. It's separating great from good. Just to make analogies to other sports, what separates LeBron from Otto Porter Jr.? Otto Porter Jr. might score 30 points one night and LeBron scores 18 that same night. Is Otto Porter Jr. better than LeBron? No, he was just better than him that night. But over a 30-game sample size, LeBron will have the better numbers. Greatness versus good.
I still don't understand why you don't have a blog.
That's why, as much as I love Konerko, was he in the Hall of Fame or the Hall of Very Good? You can make the argument Hall of Very Good. I think Helton is a Hall of Famer. I don't think Konerko is one. And Helton was 3 percentage points away from getting in. You need 75% from the committee to get into Cooperstown. He was at 72. Did you watch the World Cup, by the way, Robert?
Oh, as much of it as I possibly could. I think you asked me one other time who's my favorite player. You know, Messi, of course. That guy is just such a magician with the ball on his feet.
That guy from France is fantastic.
Yes, he is.
He's who scored the hat trick in the championship game.
Right. Oh, there's a trip.
We got a guy listening from Manchester.
Manchester?
Yeah.
As in UK?
Yeah, the United Kingdom. And I would love to know what we're supposed to call it. England, the United Kingdom, or Great Britain?
He's saying that?
I'm asking him.
Oh, okay.
Or can we use all three? But obviously, if you're from Wales, you're not from Great Britain. You're only from Wales.
Now you can bring him in on the discussion on soccer pitch versus, soccer field.
It's definitely
versus...
the pitch. It's never the field, and it's never the court. The front court.
Well, it was the court earlier today.
Yeah, I don't know why you did that. That was bad. Good pass out to the front court player. I get it, though. You've been watching a lot of playoff basketball.
Yeah, it could never, see, my view is it could never be a soccer pitch. It is either a soccer field or a football pitch.
George is not happy that we call it soccer. You're right. We should call it football. Because American football, you don't really use your feet. And really, the rules of American football originated from rugby.
Well, we talked about that they need to rename football, American football, to something else. Like call it touchdown. Uh-oh.
Hand egg.
Hand egg. Yes, hand egg. That would work.
I still don't like that horn. I still think it's annoying, but it's starting to grow on me a little bit.
I actually like it. And soccer is meant to have those, whatever they're called, vuvuzelas or whatever they call them. That's what it's meant for.
Now, I never went to the old Chicago Stadium. My dad loved the organ. My mom hated it. She was so happy when they tore the Chicago Stadium down.
You have to ask somebody to text you back and say, can they actually hear the horn?
Out in front, shot just high. Might have been partially deflected. Who touched it last? It's right by the College at DePage, home of the Chaparral sign. Distarevich going after it, so initial inclination is it'll be a corner kick for Chi Nation. And that's key, Bob, because if it wasn't touched, that's...
Well, we like to see corner kicks. They're fun. This is where the action happens. I mean, in soccer, you're going for these. This is where the goals get scored. Set pieces, corner kicks.
Corner kick by Disdarevich. Great kick. Went from one corner to the other. And ball still loose out in front from Da Fonseca. And he just couldn't get that volley on net. Partner, it's not looking good that Goshen's even going to score tonight. They've had very limited chances.
Yeah, the ball has been on the other end of whatever we call this field, pitch, court today.
Time of possession, we're not tracking it tonight, but it's got to be at least 75% Chi Nation.
I always tell myself I'd love to bring a chess clock, and then see whose ball it is. But there's a third component on that chess clock. It's like when nobody really has it.
Yeah, really what you would do is you would have the stopwatch, and then you have the piece of paper. So let's say Chi Net's good lead pass in front. Chance for Goshen, can't volley it on net. Ball loose, and it dribbles out near the 5-yard line. And then finally goes out of play. But what I was going to say is you have the stopwatch, So let's say Shy Nation has it for 30 seconds, then you hit stop. Goshen has it for 5, and then you do it again when Shy Nation steals it. Now they have it for 40 seconds. Now 30 plus 40, a minute 10, right? So Shy Nation at that point, a minute 10 time of possession versus 5 seconds. What's a minute 10 divided by a minute 15? I don't have my calculator, but that's got to be what, 95%? So
Yeah.
that stat alone, if you're using the stopwatch and the pen and paper, would show how much the Shy Nation's dominating the match. And that's kind of the old way you would do for time of possession.
Finally gets up. Got shaken up in the goalie box there.
I've done live stats. It's a lot of fun, but if you're not paying attention, it can be very, very problematic. Samuel Marshy will come into the game. And they need some goals in a hurry.
Well, at this point, that's the question. I don't know that you're trying to win the game anymore at this point. You're trying to build for next week, next game, build some chemistry. You just learned how to get beat by a very good team.
Only 4 teams make the semis. There's also a play-in game to get to the semifinals, so 5 total. And from what I've seen from Goshen, I know it's just one game and the conditions aren't great, but that's Midwest soccer. You're not always going to have ideal conditions. Not very impressed by Goshen tonight.
Whoa, that's steep.
I'm not. You got to play better. Joey Bouye for not being here, that doesn't help, but at the same time, I just haven't seen enough in terms of passing, getting your passing lanes, spacing out. I haven't seen a lot of goodness from Goshen tonight. And you can beat this Shy Nation team. Springfield has about the same talent level as Goshen. They almost beat Shy Nation. So it is possible to beat the Shy Nation team. Just didn't see a great effort from Goshen tonight.
Uh-oh. Another text from Spain this time?
No, the horn. It's like a trombone.
I love it. That's what soccer is supposed to have. This is awesome.
I don't know. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm at an 8 now in terms of being irritated.
Oh, no. Yellow card popped up really quick there.
Nails on the chalkboard is always a 10. And I also hate, my sister sometimes does this, the fork and the knife on the plate. Does your wife ever do that? Scratch the knife and fork on the plate?
I always put the knife and the fork on the plate, not on the
but
side.
there's no food on the plate. You're just scratching the plate.
Oh.
It just drives me insane.
It's like fingernails on a chalkboard?
Right. They're both 10s for me, though. Nails on a chalkboard is equal to the knife and fork on a plate with no food on it, and you're just scratching the plate.
A little excitement there, a foul and a yellow card and a free kick from midfield.
Samuel Marshy, who plays defense, is going to set it up off the left foot.
And the Goshen goalie is like at the 35-yard line.
Right, great boot from Marshy.
Yeah.
And that's going to dribble out of bounds. Who touched it last? It indeed was Shy Nation.
I want to hear back from the guy in Manchester, UK.
George says he actually works for Manchester United. According to the movie Euro Trip, Manchester United is the greatest soccer team in the world.
Well, that was my son's favorite soccer team. So we had to buy him all the Manchester jerseys we could get. A Manchester jersey soccer ball we had to get. We always knew which soccer ball was his when he would go to the soccer practices.
It's kind of amazing how soccer was originally called football in America. Then we had rugby. And American football originated from rugby, but we called it football. It's interesting how that happened.
Yeah, but back then, I mean, calling it football when you punted it and drop kicked and kicked field goals, I don't know, maybe it makes sense. But I like the idea of calling football, which would be the soccer. You don't need a term soccer, and you have to call it something else. I mean, I don't know that hand-egg would be my choice. I think calling it touchdown would have worked. Hey, let's go outside and play touchdown.
Non-guaranteed money ball. No matter what Mike Trout does this year, he gets $45 million if he hits 30 home runs or 3. No matter how many touchdown passes Lamar Jackson throws next year, it's only partially guaranteed. Let that sink in for a minute.
Or go play in the WNBA and get $150,000.
Right. But that's guaranteed, though.
I think that's why the Cavender twins are just going to stay on Twitter.
That's all. Yeah, that's all guaranteed money, by the way, for those NIL deals. As much as I don't love the franchise tag, at least it's guaranteed money when you sign it. So if Lamar Jackson signs the franchise tag, he'll get $25 million in guaranteed cash.
All right, Goshen on attack.
Ricardo Garcia leading it. Slow-moving pass, picked up by 7.
Oh, here we go. Free kick about 5 yards outside of the goalie box. And a sub?
So 7 is Elavio. Actually, no, Flavio. Flavio is 7.
Looks like they have a huddle there, good old-fashioned huddle on top of the ball. Okay, you kick it, then you run this way, then you fake that way.
Peru definitely wants this shutout. You could see how excited he was to make the save on that deflection early on in the second half. It'd be a little deflating if he didn't get it. He does not have a shutout this year. He's only given up 1 goal in the first 2 matches. And we were here when he gave up his first goal of the season. It was off a free kick. Similar spot where he gave it up against Springfield. Shot. Nice job by Shy Nation getting in the way of that shot attempt. Trying to fire it on net, but they can't get it on net. Now a slow-moving ball, and Devin Agai attacks, loses his footing, ball loose, and it's blown dead by the Sir. It was blocked anyways.
By the Sir? A rugby term comes flying out.
You can call it the Sir at soccer.
Slow to get up.
Great job, Devin Agai, getting in the way of that. Then he got back to his feet quickly and made another brilliant save.
Like you said, he's a good goalie, tough to score on, and does want the shutout.
Hockey, there's the 3 stars of the game. For tonight, probably Dizdarevich would be star number 1. Shikachenko number 2, and probably the best player tonight is arguably Peru Devin Agai, star number 3.
Yeah, especially in the case where he's got a shutout going, he deserves to be in there.
And he's made some key saves to maintain that shutout. It isn't just that the defense is doing all the work and no shots on net. He has been tested, and he has come big between the pipes to maintain that shutout.
Well, plus when the goalie does get the star of the game, the defense gets to share in that pride. Defenders don't often get 3 star of the game. It's just overshadowed by the people that score the goals.
So George on the YouTube chat, he's a big Oklahoma City Thunder fan. So, George, are you team Harden, Westbrook, or Durant during the glory days of OKC Thunder basketball?
Great question on that one.
Ball loose out in front. Chance for Shy Nation. Just
oh, my. Was it wide or deflected? I couldn't tell from here.
Either way, it's not in the net.
Yeah.
Well, Bob, Da Fonseca has been good. When I looked at the second goal on replay, I think he should have had it. But other than that...
Oh, it's so easy to say, huh?
Well, I mean, this is semi-pro. They're not high school kids anymore. I mean, these are some decent athletes. There are goals that the goalie should have had, depending on age level and competition level. You know, great lead pass in front for Shy Nation. I still look. You remember the championship game between the U.S. Canada 2010 hockey?
Women or men?
Men.
I watched it, but I don't remember the outcome now.
Sid the Kid scored on a bad angle shot that Ryan Miller probably should have had. It was a great goal by Sid the Kid, but if you asked Ryan Miller after the game, he probably would have said I should have had that one. It was not a 90-degree angle shot. Out in front. And Shy Nation will play it at the 20. Left-footed kick by Shitkachenko. Both teams have really not emptied their bench like we thought they would, as we're past the 70th minute. Well, it's a cold night, partner. Not that far of a drive from Goshen, Indiana to Glen Ellen, Illinois, but it certainly feels 5 degrees colder when you lose 3 or 4-0.
That's one more reason to like this league. The teams are not that far away from each other.
That's what made COVID baseball so interesting. You could only play teams in your geographical location.
Well, that's the thing with the travel soccer for the kids. They travel a long way to play another team. And, well, they probably could have traveled 15 minutes away to find another team that could have beat them. You didn't have to go to Indianapolis to find a good team.
It is fun, though. You know, Cooperstown, especially the Dreams Park tournament, when you play teams from Texas and Florida. The problem is they've been playing baseball all year, so sometimes those games against Illinois travel teams are like 15-0. Because it is a significant advantage when you've been playing baseball or soccer all summer and all winter and all fall versus, I mean, you can play soccer in this, but it's kind of miserable. Luckily, it stopped snowing.
Yeah, we did have flurries at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
It was 60% chance of rain. They didn't think it was 60% chance of flurries.
Hernandez Barrera had a piece of that. He has been just shut down tonight, as has the entire Goshen offense. And a substitution now for Chicago Nation Football Club.
It's a character building assignment for Goshen here. Without their leading scorer, you still got to score.
Brandon Lonecar, center midfielder, into the game. And Matt Budrek still at defense. Hakeem Saraji into the game as well. Shy Nation scored all 3 of their goals in the first half. One of them was on the PK. And not only has Shy Nation led all game, but they pretty much dominated time of possession from the opening kick.
Well, and that's where, talking about the Chicago Nation is a second half team, right? So there has to be somewhat of a win for Goshen to hold Chicago Nation scoreless in the second half. They are still trying, still hustling.
But it looks like Shy Nation has made those adjustments from the offseason going into tonight and their first game of the year. They have not looked sluggish from the opening kick like we saw last season. There were times against Springfield that they had lackadaisical plays, but tonight they've just dominated Goshen. It's been very impressive. And for Goshen part, they're gonna, we don't know the significance and how big his injury is for their leading goal scorer in Bowie, but they're going to have to find something in practice, because if he continues to not be in the lineup and this is what we get, it's going to be a long season for Goshen this year.
You did say they were a new team, though.
Newer program.
Yeah, so maybe they've got nowhere to go but up.
Well, they were 1-1 coming in. Jonathan Bowie, leading goal scorer. Arturo Hernandez Barrera, second on the team in goals. The player who's been with this program the most, according to their website, is Alan Galindo with 19 appearances. Jose Gonzalez, second on the team with 7. Here comes Shy Nation on the attack. Great lead pass at the 20. Trying to make it 4-0. Ball loose. Another try. And just couldn't get it on net. 2 chances, but they just couldn't get it past the end line.
Yeah, that second one scooted along the end line. Just nobody was there, unfortunately, for Chicago Nation. But that was a nice break.
Now with it is Flavio. It's an awesome name, by the way.
Flavio, yeah.
I'll have to ask him after the game if his favorite model is Fabio. Look at that no-look pass. That was brilliant. Here comes Saraji. And kicked away that time by Da Fonseca.
Looking for a card on that flip.
Saraji has every right to the ball as the goalie does. Now, you can't kick the goalie's face, but you can go after the ball.
Well, the goalie's outside the box. He's just a player.
Right.
Some more excitement on that play.
I mean, Shy Nation isn't just playing keep away. They're trying to make it 4-0. Are they giving 100% effort on offense? Probably not.
Oh, I think they are. I think they always, that's the trademark of Chicago Nation. They are always trying. I like them for that.
Shikichenko takes a seat. Miguel Fierro is now into the match. I mean, this is impressive. This is probably Shy Nation's most impressive win of the year. Small sample size, of course.
Yeah, data points of 3.
They won 2-1, 5-1, 3-0. When you have a clean sheet, it's an all-around team win. The goalie gets most of the credit, but it really is an all-around team performance when you get that clean sheet. Now Shy Nation playing a little keep away, little monkey in the middle. Very hard to win soccer games, partner, when you give up 3 goals. So that's something Goshen's going to have to work on.
Well, and giving up possession time.
That's what made that championship match between France and Argentina so exciting. Final score, 4-3 on PKs.
I think I remember that game, warmed my heart and broke my heart like 3 different times before that game finished.
All France's goals were scored by one player. How impressive is that? I mean, you don't see that in any sport, especially soccer, though.
Well, that's a ways back, but if I remember, Argentina had that lead and had the game won, and then France came back.
Yeah.
Late, and that was quite. That was just like I said, broke your heart. Made your heart sing, and then broke your heart.
I don't know if there's an easy solution to overtime in soccer, but can we find a solution that's not penalty kicks? I don't know.
Well, in hockey, and maybe soccer could, go there. I'd like to see, 6-on-6 with a goalie, but then make it 5-on-5 for 10 minutes, and 4-on-4 for 10 minutes, and 3-on-3 for 10 minutes. I think soccer could do the same.
Once we go to the Stanley Cup playoffs, though, it's 5-on-5 all the entire overtimes.
Yeah. Well, maybe they could use that same overtime rule in the Stanley Cup, but soccer, I'm thinking the same thing. Take one player off every 5 minutes until it's down to.
Yeah, you could. I'm just saying, once the hockey playoffs start, they play normal hockey rules in overtime. There's no more shootouts.
Right.
No more gimmicks.
I'm just talking about a different outcome for soccer, because I do not like the penalty kick outcome. They're fun to watch, but it's again too severe for having played the whole game to come down to something like penalty kicks. So 10-on-10, 9-on-9, 8-on-8, every 5 minutes and every 10 minutes, whatever the right amount of time is, until you end up with goalie versus goalie.
George's favorite OKC player is Westbrook. Now, partner, Oklahoma City Thunder obviously includes the Seattle Supersonics. So even though Sean Kemp and those other players didn't play in Oklahoma City, can you say your favorite Thunder player is a Sonics player?
In my opinion, no. Thunder player is a Thunder player.
Right. So technically the Baltimore Ravens are the Cleveland Browns, but you probably can't say your favorite Baltimore Raven is Jim Brown.
Right.
Even though you would be politically correct.
Are you trying to change his vote from Westbrook to somebody else?
Well, technically, the Thunder are the Seattle Supersonics. So my favorite Supersonic was Gary Payton. But is Gary Payton considered your all-time favorite Thunder player?
Clearly not.
Is Gary Payton the best player in Sonic/Thunder history?
I think Westbrook is a very good choice.
Right. It's just all these debates. Who's your favorite Montreal Expo? Well, it has to be Max Scherzer. Nice try. Scherzer plays for the Washington Nationals. Hold on a second. The Washington Nationals used to be called the Montreal Expos. Doesn't that count?
My sister's high school boyfriend played on the Expos.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you through all these horns.
Yeah.
What did your sister's boyfriend
My
do?
sister's high school boyfriend played on the Montreal Expos.
Really?
Yes.
What was the name?
Scott Sanderson.
Kind of remember that guy.
Yeah.
Was he on those Expos teams with Larry Walker and Pedro Martinez?
I don't remember who the teammates were, but I saw him one time in Florida at spring training. He had a great 15-year career with the Cubs. Now he's not alive anymore, and that's sad.
That's too bad, man.
It is. My sister's alive, that's for sure.
That whole 94 season stinks because the Expos were in first place when the strike happened. I think the White Sox were in first place by a game in the division, too. So we could have seen a White Sox Expos World Series. The 94 season that never officially ended. And then remember, the 2002 season almost ended on a strike. It's been an impressive showing by Shy Nation tonight. And partner, small sample size, obviously, but they've won 3 straight titles going back to the 2021 spring season. They look like the favorite once again.
Well, and I think Goshen is walking away saying, okay, we just played the best team. This is what we're going to take away from this good, and this is what we're going to take away for things we need to improve. But unless you play the best, you can't have a good barometer.
George is asking, in America, who shows the Premier League? That would be NBC. They start playing around 10 a.m. Central Time.
Oh, a yellow card for this?
Yeah, I agree. It's also an unnecessary play, Bob. You're up 3-0, and it's not even close to the goal. Why do you have to do something like that?
The referee trying to control the game, in this case with cards, rather than talking to the players.
I agree. There's just no need for that. Really, there's no need for that in a 0-0 game, but you could almost understand it in 3-0 when you've dominated Goshen all night. There's no need for that kind of play. Especially when you've stolen the ball cleanly most of the night. Now, are they allowed to be called Chicago Nation even though they play in Glen Ellen and Schaumburg?
Uh-oh. I can see where that one's going
Chicago
next.
Suburban Nation? Glen Ellen Nation?
Aren't they called the New York Giants?
Right? Yeah, they play New Jersey. The New Jersey Giants. New Jersey Jets.
Chicago Nation is bigger than the town itself.
They have a big following on Instagram.
Hence the name Nation. It is a great name for a team.
Right, yeah.
And it works for any city. I mean, maybe Cleveland Guardians should have been Cleveland Nation.
Is that the reason why they've never won the Super Bowl?
Cleveland?
If they had just called themselves Cleveland Nation, they would have won the Super Bowl a long time ago.
Maybe they would have won the Super Bowl if LeBron played football.
LeBron is so good, man. I know I've talked to you about this before. I think he could have single-handedly led Cleveland State to the Final Four. I really do. If he had gone to like Akron or Cleveland State, now he's talked about to reporters that he would have gone to Ohio State if he had gone to college. But LeBron is one of those special athletes. If you remember, Antonio Gates basically single-handedly led Kent State to the Elite Eight. And of course, Antonio Gates became a football player. So basketball wasn't his best sport.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not going to argue that point. And, maybe some evidence behind that is that's what Larry Bird did with Indiana State.
If you remember, Stephen Curry led Davidson to the Elite Eight. And they were like winning by like 12 points or something on Georgetown in the first half of that Elite Eight game. Great pass. Fierro with it. To his right foot, trying to get it on net. Deflected right into the breadbasket of Da Fonseca.
It was good defense, but that was really sticky feet on offense. What a great pluck right out of the midair.
Yeah, Fierro, fresh legs off the bench, making the most of his opportunity.
Here's where I would like to have seen Goshen hold the ball a little bit longer instead of just go try to counterattack right away. The penalty for that was Chicago Nation now has the ball. There's a little miniature horn there. What happened to those Vuvuzelas? Oh, there. See? On cue.
It's hard to run those Zuelas when you're down 3-0. There's only so much to be cheerful about. I remember a game with Jason White. He was in the Heisman consideration, and Oklahoma was beating Texas Tech like 77-0. And a guy for Texas Tech was celebrating a sack down by 77 points.
Oh, geez. Yep.
I'm like, I don't know if that's the time to be celebrating that.
Yeah, I've seen players like that, right?
Lopez with it at the 20. Impressive. Just all around impressive by Chi Nation. Professionalism at its finest. The vice president of soccer operations for Chicago Nation is Garrett Hayward. He does a fantastic job with this program. They just dominate pretty much every season. They used to play at Ackerman Park. This is the first year they're playing at COD. And they have a new assistant coach this year, Abdurrauf Abu, and they're led by head coach A.J. Ostrowski.
Offsides?
And we haven't heard that a lot from the headlines, but it's getting a little bit colder here in Glen Ellen.
Well, a team from a big city like Chicago should beat a team from a small city like Goshen. And thanks to the two fans in front of us before the game started to make sure we knew how to pronounce Goshen.
I was going to say gosh, and I was even going to reference a goofy pun. You know how like in a goofy movie he says Gersh?
Well, it is Gotham City, so why wouldn't it be Goshen?
Right. Were you more of a Mickey Mouse or a Goofy fan?
You could call me a Goofy fan if you want.
Incredibly underrated Disney movie is a Goofy movie. Definitely watch it if you've never seen it. Appreciate everybody watching the broadcast. And I understand if you're at your nice warm home instead of here in Glen Ellen. It's been a little cold tonight.
Or if you're in the UK.
Yeah. A little bit of far commute from Great Britain to Glen Ellen. Definitely a foul. That was so blatant that Danny Volka didn't even plead his case. You know it's bad when you're called for the foul and you just walk away being like, yeah, that's you're right.
Busted by the referee. Or you would say busted by the sir.
And kicked out of bounds by Chi Nation. We're at 90 minutes right now, so we'll probably have, 2 or 3 minutes of extra time.
I heard somebody on the field just say 1 more minute. You might be right on that clock. We don't have a scoreboard, so we don't really know for sure.
Yeah, well, my clock's pretty official. I started right when they blew the whistle.
Right.
So we're the official clock, besides the rest.
So maybe the extra time is just 1 minute, although we didn't see the 1 minute sign go up.
They're going to give Goshen at least one more try to get one on net. And obviously, if Chi Nation kicks it out, then they'll blow it dead. Oh, no! Did he play off the back? I think that Chi Nation was going to steal the ball anyways, but Wendo Casilla is called for over the back.
And a very strong wind just came in, so hopefully we don't hear wind on the microphones.
Geocentric worldview. Not only is he called for over the back, but geocentric worldview, we get the worst wind right after it happened.
Right.
Sometimes when it rains, it pours for Goshen. And if you're Chi Nation, your partner, do you want to set something up on offense, or do you just kick it out of bounds and have the ref blow it 3 times for the end of the match?
Well, I would eat the clock, I think, at this point in time. Keep it with your defense. Well, here they're just going to blast it downfield.
They're going to kick it straight up. So they're going to try one more time to make it 4-0. And Da Fonseca was pretty good, but Devin Egghai was that much better. Devin Egghai, man, you could make the argument he was the best player on the pitch for both teams. Out in front, another chance, and Devin Egghai will put both hands around it. No signal yet. They're going to blow the match dead.
I still think Goshen City has to feel pretty good about themselves in this game, even though they were shut out. Yeah. They kept Chicago Nation from scoring in the whole entire second half. Chicago Nation was hustling the whole time.
Well,
Goshen was hustling the whole time. I still think it was a pretty good outing, even though you lost 3-0.
Well, we're going to agree to disagree on that one. I was not impressed by the effort by Goshen, especially without their best scorer tonight. We'll see how they regroup later on in the year. But for a team that was 1-1, that had 2 goals per game coming into tonight, granted those goals were with Bowie in the lineup, I was kind of not impressed by what I saw from Goshen tonight.
But you're a tough crowd.
And yes, they did keep Shy Nation scoreless. You got to remember, though, some of those plays, Shy Nation was a pass away from scoring, a wide open net that they just missed the intended target by a half inch. So definitely a lot for Goshen to work on for their next match.
I like that last minute or so of sequence. Goshen had the ball and made about 6 or 8 passes before they finally lost it. This I think they needed to do more of this whole entire game. Now they get a free kick from not too far away.
Got to kick it quickly here.
Well, the ref will let them have the time.
He wouldn't call a delay game, but...
Yeah, right. End the game right before this kick, right? No ref will do that.
But if you're just taking forever to shoot it, the ref will tell you, hey, let's get this kick. Let's go.
Here's kind of last hurrah for a shutout breaker.
Yeah, last chance to get one in the back of the net. Shot. Devin Egghai lets it go wide. And that will do it for the match. Shy Nation with an impressive 3-0 clean sheet against Goshen City Football Club. Well, Porter, it's like what you said. They held Shy Nation scoreless in the second half, but you can't win any soccer matches, obviously, when you don't score any goals. Not only did they not score, they really didn't have many opportunities all night.
Yeah, Chicago Nation, they took the game to Goshen. They had quality opportunities, in the entire game. Sometimes they missed the net. Obviously, 2 went in, plus the penalty kick. Chicago Nation played a really good game, but Goshen has to take some heart in this. It was only a 3-0 game. They played even with Chicago Nation the whole entire second half. So I don't think that they can walk away and say that they played entirely badly, but they'll take a look at this and decide what they did well and do that some more and take away from this and where they needed some more help, and they'll hopefully fix it for next time. But it was a very, very good game to play.
We're going to take a break, and even though we can't speak any English, we're going to try to get Devin Egghai for the post-game show. If not, either Tizdarevich, Shitkachenko, or Miguel Fierro. But that does it for the broadcast. So for Bob Vilsaway, I'm Kyle Smith signing off. Post-game show brought to you by SBS. Coming up next.
Is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
I started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the postgame show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense, and Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and a goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape, but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics, and we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. We broadcast sporting events for people of all ages, including adult leagues, high school leagues, and kids. Complete with professional-looking graphics, broadcasters, color analysis, and commercials. We do pre- and post-game interviews with the players. In addition, Sports Broadcast Solutions does highlight films, including college recruiting reels, highlight films you'd see on sports news programs, and just simply highlight films for fun. Sports Broadcast Solutions also provides raw footage and live streams if you'd like. Subscribe to us and listen to our professional talk videos about relevant topics in the pro and college ranks. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, contact us at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital world. This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world.
Hello guys, how you doing? My name is Robert Mitten. As you can see, I'm part of the C1 team. C1 is gonna be number one. I had a Class B CDL license for about 4 years. I just upgraded to a Class A. When it comes to experience, I have about 6 months experience. I found this company by a good friend of mine named Andy. He also helped my cousin get in named Ricardo. And we have a friend of mine named Twan. He's here with us. It's a great company to work for. It's a growing company. Also, my supervisor, Danny, he's the best. He's a real good guy, man. Hey, Danny. With all the other drivers, everybody here, we all get along. We work together as a team. That's pretty much it, guys. Just, if you're interested, apply. It's a great company to work for. The staff is perfect. C1 is gonna be number one.
Welcome to the post-game show brought to you by SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Kyle Smith alongside the star of the match, Peru Devin Egghai with the clean sheet, a 3-0 shutout for Chi Nation. Big-time win. Not only do you guys win, but you win by 3+ goals. What does that mean to you?
Es importante sumar de 3, perdón que lo diga en español, pero el equipo jugó muy bien, fue un partido intenso. El otro equipo... Y creo que es importante sumar en casa.
A clean sheet, 3-0. What did he say, by the way?
He said that the team played good today, that's good 3 points. The other team came out with some intensity, that we matched their intensity. We went above and beyond that. And we fought for our 3 points and we scored good goals all around.
3-0 shutout. You made some big-time saves, especially on the misdirection. What were you looking to do to make sure to maintain that clean sheet, get that 3-0 win?
¿Cómo te ayudas al equipo a ganar 3-0, mantener que no metan goles?
Mantener el orden es esencial, el orden, y el equipo todo el partido estuvo concentrado, porque sabemos que aunque íbamos ganando 3-0, en cualquier momento un gol mete al otro equipo en juego, entonces creo que siempre es importante estar motivando, incentando a los jugadores, a los defensas a no distraernos y a hacer bien las cosas.
It seems like unless the other team gets a free kick, there's just no chance for them to get it between the pipes. What have you been working on in practice to make sure that when it's regular 9-on-9 soccer that they just can't get that ball between the pipes?
Que si practico free kick.
Que no pueden hacer nada solo cuando tienen tiro libre y qué estás haciendo para que se mantengan todo.
Okay. No, pues estar hablando, talk all time, talk my players, is concentration, no distraction, the second ball, is all time concentration, all time.
So you've only given up 1 goal in each of your first 3 matches. You guys have won 3 straight division titles. I know that you want to win the division title this year, but what are the expectations of this team to win that division title and make a run in the tournament?
Pues quiero ser campeón nacional, de championship, national team. Hemos estado cerca, literally, creo que si seguimos trabajando serios podemos ser aspirantes al campeonato que tanto deseamos.
That's Peru Devin Egghai. That does it for our pregame show. So for Peru, for Bob Villesway, I'm Kyle Smith signing off. Chi Nation wins 3-0. They're an undefeated 3-0 on the season, and we'll see you next time on SBS.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on Channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
I started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little